In the quiet fields of Plainfield, Wisconsin, a darkness was growing, quiet, invisible, and far more disturbing than anyone could imagine. This is the story of Ed Gein, the shy handyman whose secrets would shock America in the 1950s and inspire decades of horror stories. Ed Gein, soft-spoken, awkward, and polite. A man neighbors called odd, but harmless. But behind that gentle smile was a lifetime of isolation. Raised by a strict, controlling mother who preached fear of the outside world, Ed grew up believing only she could guide him. When she died, something inside him broke, and the town of Plainfield would soon pay the price. Late at night, while the town slept, Ed wandered the local cemetery. Not to mourn, not to remember, but to dig. Police would later uncover the truth, disturbing thefts from freshly buried graves. Ed wasn't just stealing objects. He was trying to rebuild something he lost. A twisted attempt to bring his mother back. November 16, 1957. Hardware store owner Bernice Wardens disappears in broad daylight. Her receipt book shows the last customer before she vanished. Again, deputies rush to his farmhouse. The door creaks open, and suddenly the quiet handyman is no longer harmless. Inside, officers find a nightmare collection of objects, macabre trophies made from stolen remains, and evidence that Bernice Wardens never left the property alive. Under questioning, Ed breaks almost instantly. His voice flat, his words emotionless. He admits to the grave robberies. He admits to carefully planning them, even studying obituaries. And he admits to killing Bernice Wardens and a local tavern owner, Mary Hogan, who vanished years earlier. But the why? It always returns to his mother, his obsession, his grief, his twisted devotion. Plainfield couldn't believe it. This quiet farming community had become the center of one of America's most disturbing crimes. Newspapers went wild. Hollywood took notes. Characters like Norman Bates, Leatherface, and Buffalo Bill would all borrow pieces of Ed's story. But the real Ed Gein was not a monster with a chainsaw. He was something different. A lonely man who lost his grip on reality and built a world out of shadows and stolen memories. Ed Gein was declared mentally unfit for trial and spent the rest of his life in a psychiatric hospital. He died in 1984, quietly, just like he lived. But the fear he left behind? That stayed. Because the scariest part wasn't the crime. It was how ordinary he seemed. A reminder that the darkest stories often hide behind the calmest faces. If you want more chilling true crime breakdowns, make sure to follow. This has been the story of Ed Gein, the quiet man with unthinkable secrets.